what you're looking at here is a beautiful little Roman sculpture. It's a little figure of a Roman philosopher, Epicurus. It was found by a friend of mine metal detecting, made of bronze. And in this little video I'm going to have a go at sandcasting it in bronze. And there's also a lovely little Roman intaglio ring that was found by a friend of mine. And again, I'm going to sandcast that in bronze also. So it's my first time using bronze, so we'll see how we get on. I hope you enjoy it. That's going to be the ring. I'm not sure, but it looks alright. Looks alright. There's only a little bit vented at the top there. I haven't took that out yet. As you can see, the ring turned out okay. Fair bit of cleanup and flashing, but colour wise came out really nice. I was quite pleased with how that come out. Whereas, as I said before, the bronze came out with this silver tone to it. It'd be interesting to actually figure out once and for all why it came out silver. I'm guessing that it was some kind of oxidization, because like that air vent on the top come out with a nice bronze color. So maybe some contamination or I think they call it fire scale. Not sure. And will take a fair bit of cleaning. I did actually put it in the pickle, but it didn't touch it. It needed a fair bit of polishing to bring the bronze back up. There's also quite a bit of flashing on the edges to clean up, as you can see, but quite happy with the way it came out. No pits or holes in it, so it was a full cast. The pieces of bronze that came out around the mould and the bits that was left over, as you can see in that glass jar, did come up with a nice bronze colour. So it must have been something to do with the cooling of the bronze, because like when it hit the air, some of it was just really nice and shiny, how you'd imagine bronze to look. But I'd like, if anybody does know in the comments for future casting, how to stop that silver colour. Like I said, I did actually leave it in the sand for quite a long time, so maybe it was something to do with that. Not quite sure. Whereas the ring, I took the ring out fairly quick and it came out with a nice bronze colour, so it didn't need much polishing. So if anybody has any clues as to why it does this, I'd be interested to find out. So once again, I didn't film very much of it because that's just the way it is. But anyway, so this is the stage I'm at now. It's cast in bronze. There was a lot of cleanup to do, a lot of flashing that I've had to sand and file away. What I'm just doing now is just refining it, getting a rough shape. I'm going to get it roughly, not smooth, but just get any more bits of sharp bits out. And then I've got to do the fine detail on his hair. As you can see, he's got little lines through his hair and through his beard. And I'm nearly done on this phase. And so the next phase, which is going to be tricky, is getting the bronze verdigris that's on it. Well, it's a lovely green patina, so I've got to somehow recreate that. So that's my next challenge. I'm kind of over the worst of it now. I'm quite pleased with how it's turning out so far. So I shall try and do some more filming as I go. So what I'm doing is just engraving the finer details now on his beard and his hair. It's almost like, what would you call that? It's like locks? I don't know. So I'll just finish off marking all his beard and his hair, then I'll give it a fine wire brush, and then we're ready for patination. Right, that's it finished. This was a new one for me because I've never done anything in bronze before. So I was working from images. A friend of mine, metal detectorist, found this beautiful bronze statue of a Roman. It's been written that it's a Roman philosopher, possibly Epicurus. He's sitting on some sort of bench or stool or chair, whatever, made of solid bronze. So what I had to do, initially carve it from wood so I could use this to sand cast. I knew there was going to be undercuts in this when it's in the sand, which meant there was a lot of cleanup afterwards, lots of flashing. So yeah, this is the final item, solid bronze. Sitting on his little stool there. My friend decided not to have the patination done on it, and I quite like that idea because, like he says, this is how the Romans would have had it back in the day. This is how it would have looked when it was initially made. So we see the fines as they've aged and become patinated in that lovely green patina. But it's always nice to see what they would have looked like. So there we go. Nice little project. I enjoyed doing that. It was a challenge. On this intaglio, the Paz website's saying that this is glass. It does look like glass, but also what's interesting, when you look at the actual ring, in fact let me show you, it looks to me like the glass has been molten, and then it's been, I could be wrong, but it just looks like it's been molten at some point, and then the actual design's been pressed into the glass because it's rounded. All the edges are rounded, and it looks like it's been pushed in because the edges are very slightly raised up. Like when you push something in, it displaces the glass upwards a little bit. If you zoom in close to that, you can see what I mean. So very interesting. No, because it's glass, I think that's how they've done that. There's no sharp edges on it whatsoever. Looks like it's been pressed in. So anyway, mine's not glass. This is a semi-precious stone. I'm not actually even sure what it is. I just got lots of scrap off cut bits of stone, but it's a very good match. So you can still see a bit of the pen that I drew on the design, but it's coming along. So I've now finished my replica of a friend's Roman ring that he found. The Roman ring the intaglio was made of glass in the original Roman ring. It's difficult to see it through there. I couldn't find glass to match, so I've used a piece of jade, which is very close. So, and the ring's bronze, polished up really nice. Also, always nice to see how the Romans and such like would have seen their jewellery and brooches and coins when it was new. As a detectorist, we always are used to seeing them this colour with a lovely patina, but it's also nice to see how they would have looked. And it actually stamps out okay. I have a bit of blue tack here, so let me just give it a little stamp so you can see little man with a stick. There we go.